Happy Thursday. We are live with another episode of Mom Talk Live. Tonight's topic, y'all, we're going to be talking about, do you let your kids listen to all music? So go ahead, get your comments ready, get your questions ready, tag another mama that needs to be in on this conversation, share, share, share. I am so excited to sit down with my mama friends tonight as we dive into the topic. We'll be back right after this. Hey, ladies, how are y'all?
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going today? Thursday, almost Friday, y'all.
Friday Eve.
Right. How y'all feeling tonight? I'm tired. What about y'all?
I was trying not to say that, but it's
The
bad.
truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. Look, it's been a long, not even a long day, not even a long week, month. It's been a long, like 2022 so far. So, I want to first I know that you all were on the very first episode, so y'all are back. Super excited about that. But just tell the audience a little bit about yourself in regards to name and then how many kids you have, what ages.
I'll start. I'm Marion. I have one child, a boy. He is 12. I'm forgetting sometimes because I don't want to be.
I'm Ebony. I have a 4-year-old going on 14, and I have a 11-year-old son. My 4-year-old is a girl. I have a daughter.
You
I have
always
the
introduce
best
her
of
like
both
that.
worlds.
Yes, the best of. You always say that 4 going on 14. She just
Listen,
wise for her age. She wise for her age.
Very.
And if you all don't know, I'm Tramika and I have an 11-year-old, 14, and 18. So before we jump into tonight's topics, ladies, I have to ask you, this is like my opening question for y'all tonight. What lesson is motherhood teaching you right now?
Patience.
Mm-hmm.
you took mine.
That's always.
Mine is teaching me like that I am a lifelong learner. I'm still learning about parenting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
teaching me how to apologize for actions in the moment, because sometimes I can be reactive and triggered.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm
Mm-hmm.
raising a preteen, I have to be mindful. I mean, any child, but like the way we react really impacts our children. So I'm learning to like apologize, but not just apologize, like sit down and say, hey, like, how can we go about this differently? Because I be popping off sometimes.
And I'll add to that is which will it'll probably definitely come out in this conversation is flexibility. Because I
Mm.
grew up very rigid. I'm a church girl
Mm-hmm.
and all the things, but not that I'm letting go of those values or anything like that. But there should be nuance and flexibility in raising a kid. So
Yeah, so I love that flexibility. I don't so it's teaching me all the lessons right now, like all of them. I feel like motherhood right now is really maturing me. Like if nothing else in life, motherhood will really grow you up. Okay, so it's helping me to realize who I am as a person, who I should not be when it comes to parenting, and all of that y'all said. The patience, the flexibility, getting rid of or letting go of control. That's a huge one for me right now. And so, like I said, motherhood is just teaching me all the things. So we want to hear from y'all in the audience, whoever is watching live on Facebook or YouTube. Drop in the comments, what lesson is motherhood currently teaching you right now? What lesson is motherhood teaching you? Okay, ladies, let's dive into this topic tonight. I'm really here to, I got a little bit to say about it, but I'm really here to kind of listen. Because I don't know, I kind of have mixed feelings on the topic. So for those of you who don't know, our topic tonight is, do you let your child listen to all music? And either one of y'all, let's just dive in on it. Let's just see where the conversation goes.
I'll start.
Yeah, I want to hear from Ebony first.
Do I let my child listen to all music? The answer is yes. There's more, that answer is layered, but yes, I can say that my child listens to all genres of music. Just because I am a Christian and we attend church and we like spirituality is a part of our identity, does not mean that my son doesn't know how to, do the cha-cha slide, or like do like, like that's a different genre of music. But
Mhm,
yes, we
mhm.
listen to all types. He know Michael Jackson. Yes, like yes, we listen to all types of music. I'm gonna shut
Okay,
up
so
because
that's
I
a short version. That's a short version.
yeah.
That's like the overview. Okay, okay, Marion, let's hear from you.
Okay, so I can repeat that short version verbatim, so I'll take it further and say everything but Ebony said. But also, especially like the newer hip hop music. Well, it's not even hip hop because it's everywhere. Um, I filter it. I have to listen to it myself. I have to some stuff it's we have a conversation about it. Some stuff is I don't want to hear that song in my house no more. You know.
Mm,
Um yeah. Right now we're trying this new thing. I just literally started it. What we did a fast for, and so my fast was more music. I mean, not more music, was more food. His
mhm,
was he did all water for 30 days and no, like, candy and snacks, candy and cakes and
mhm,
stuff. But it was also no rap music in that fast. And so when he got off the fast, all right, I was like, okay, that was February 1st. It was our first day off the fast. Let's try something different. Um, and so right now I am trying like he can listen to different genres by day. So it's like gospel music is you. And when I was growing up, I'll be honest, it was just no secular music on Sundays. But
mhm,
because I feel like my child is more inundated than I was by all of this, um, I am trying gospel music Sunday, Monday, Tuesday because he has what's it called, like Sunday school. We listen to church. We still virtual, but I found him virtual
mhm.
Sunday school on Sundays and virtual children's Bible study on Tuesdays. So on those days, your mind need to be stayed on him. Um, then on Wednesdays, I was like, you can listen Wednesdays through Wednesday and Thursday, you can listen to like your R&B because praise God, he does like, the old school R&B and all that stuff. He'll listen to
Oh
anything.
my God, you got a whole schedule for this. Like
I
I would have
do, I
never
do.
thought. I would have
I,
never
I
thought
just
to do
came up
this.
with it.
Okay.
I'll let you know if it works. It's funny,
Okay,
like
keep going. This is good. This is good.
I'm kind of like not embarrassed, but it's just like I don't know, guys. I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall, so it might sound silly, but I'm trying it. So Wednesday and Thursday, you can bring in your Usher and your Michael Jackson and all that stuff. But and then Friday and Saturday, I let him listen to whatever he want to listen to, within the parameters. And so Spotify is his app of choice. I can see the history. I can set the settings so that there's no explicit content. If there's a new song on there, I can listen to it. We can talk about it. Like I said, some songs it's like it's a conversation. Like you realize he's talking about selling drugs, right? Or
Mhm,
I don't want you to listen to this at all. you know.
mhm.
So that's where we're at.
So I feel like that's amazing that you put that much energy and time and effort into that particular part. I'm gonna be completely honest and transparent. So mine has evolved over time. Like I have evolved as a parent. Restrictions and different things like that have evolved. My kids have Apple Music, so I have a family account. And so when they were younger, of course, not listening to any secular music around them whatsoever. In the car, we're immediately turning on gospel station. At home, like no movies. If we even take it a step further than music, like no movies, no TV shows, no cussing, none of that around them, right? And so as they got a little older, I think I got a little more lenient, I'll be honest. There are times, but see, times have changed. So when they were a little bit younger, or like a couple years ago, there was not like AirPods and Beat Pods and all this stuff, right? So they got all this stuff in their ear, so you can't necessarily hear everything that they're listening to. So before, when I can hear everything, of course, I'm censoring it. And if I hear something, I'm like, okay, no, don't listen to that song anymore. Or do you know what it means? Like going deep into stuff like that. Because my son, he loves music, and or he loves to repeat music. And so he's saying stuff that sometimes he don't even know what he's saying or whatever. And so I've evolved. So now I'm asking him, like, okay, what are you listening to? And then I'll go listen to the song to kind of see where the feelings or the thoughts are coming from. Like, what is making you listen to this song? But I don't have, unless I hear cursing, I don't have times where I'm just like, turn it off. Um, I like, does that make me a bad mom, guys?
No,
No.
I think everybody has their different levels of tolerance for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you know your children too. You know your child. And I'm torn. Like, I feel like I'm in the middle because yes, you're still in my house. Yes, you know, you abide by my rules in my house. But, and this may be the educator in me coming out, like, I don't want to have to micromanage your music. Like, I want you to be, because I'm not going to be able to do that forever. I want you to be able to, like, that's like, we create children to be independent. However, I do realize that there is a journey to get there depending on the child.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's why I hate to use the word loose, but like I will play censored versions or like we'll listen to it together and probably discuss certain things. But like I'm also curious to know, what are you listening to if I don't control what you're listening to? Like what are
Mm-hmm.
what like because then like that can help me understand like A, the type of music you like, and B, like now why. Like let's talk about why. Like why is this music intriguing to you? And I'm gonna tell you why it's not intriguing or why it is intriguing to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not to Marion point of like micromanaging, but I have an awareness in a sense. And then
That's
like as an
good.
educator, like they listening to
Mhm.
it's only so much you can control with what they are
Everything.
exposed to. So
And if you don't
And
let them listen to it at home, then the friends, like, because for it wasn't music, but my son, we had took his phone for a period of time as a consequence for something, and he came, like, he tells me news from TikTok, like he learns all this stuff from TikTok, right? That stuff I don't even know. And so he came home and he was like telling me some stats or something, and I'm like, how do you even know that? Because you don't have a phone right now. So I'm like trying to figure out. He was like, oh, he said his friend's name, like, oh, so and so showed me at school, and so
mhm.
they hear it. They do hear it. I will say that when they were younger, it was either gospel or the kid bop version. Nothing else. Nothing else. But as they became preteens, and just now where they are, I don't know if I still do have an awareness, like you mentioned, Ebony, but I don't know if I'm just more lenient now. I do kind of get in their world periodically to kind of say, okay, well, what are you listening to and why? We play music games as well. We have music games we play in our house, but I don't know. That's just kind of where I am with it.
Mhm. And see, I got to where I am because I've been in the places where y'all have described, like, and I kind of like, so I was the same way when JR was younger, how you were, Tramika, with your kids. And I kind of regret it a little bit because he missed out on like all the neo soul and all that. Like I didn't play none of that, and I was like, I wouldn't even play no Jill Scott or no Music Soul Child for him. It was just straight gospel. If it was rap, it was gospel rap. And I was like, I kind of wish I would have like pulled back on that.
Mm-hmm.
But also I had that moment where he was listening to what he wanted to listen to. I saw what it was. I did not approve. And that's why we are here now. You know, we had the conversation. I asked him, why is this intriguing? And what I gather is that it's cool because you like it because it's cool at school. And so I'm
mm,
trying to get him um to like experience other things, give other things a chance. Because if I just let him listen to whatever, it'll be straight hip hop all the time, all the time. And it's not even. I always say it's a difference between rap and hip hop. It's the new rap all the time, and he doesn't. He will not give other things a chance. And so I'm trying to give him opportunities for other things to come in and for him to like other things. And then I'm also looking at the spiritual part of it. Is that I am very concerned of what is on
Mm-hmm.
his spirit,
yes.
getting
Yeah,
what it's
absolutely.
feeding through his ear gate at all times. Because he
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
will listen. sun up to sundown, he will listen to Pop Smoke or whoever, King
See, I
Von.
don't even know these people. I don't know any of them. So I was
Girl,
gonna
I didn't
ask
want
y'all, like,
to,
what are
and I
some of their
had to.
names? All I know is Lil Baby, and
Auntie
I don't even
Ebony
think
know
he's
all of
relevant
them.
anymore.
It's crazy.
All I
Like,
think I know is Lil Baby, and I don't even know if he's relevant anymore. Like, I
I
can't
think
keep up with it at
as
all.
a rap fan, Lil Baby is like the only rapper to really write home about at this moment. I don't
Okay.
even think, and that's the other thing. I wish I could. I'm trying to share with him actual rap talent, actual lyricism. I'm
But
like,
Marion, you gotta drop the fact that you come from a like musically inclined family too. So I
mm-hmm,
feel like the way that you described JR's interest in music to like it's almost a gift and a talent to me. Like
mm-hmm.
the way you describe that. So I think that like cultivated.
Yes,
Like
I
it's
was
in
gonna
his blood.
ask. Yeah, I was gonna ask how much do your kids love music? Because I feel like my kids listen to it, but it's not like an all-day thing. And then the other thing, I want to hear more about this music background. So tell us more.
I mean, like my dad had been a DJ for 40. He called himself retiring last year, but he got a gig next week. So reconcile that how you will. But it's been about 41, 42 years that he's been DJing. Um, what else? And my dad is a musician. So I
Mhm.
appreciate music at its core. Like I always tell people, like I'm more of a Prince fan than a Michael Jackson fan because Michael Jackson is a great entertainer. Prince is a great musician. He can go in the studio and create a hit album with just him in there and play all the the instruments live, So I
Mhm.
appreciate that at the core of it. And that is something that I think JR has that innate love of music that I feel like is passed down from my dad. Um, but I do want to cultivate it, but like for the love of what music actually is, not just
Yeah.
the skibbity pop that your friend said is cool.
Right, right. So that
You
brings
know?
me to Latoya's comment. She said, "Music is an art as long as they are not cursing, encouraging drugs, murder, and degrading. It is approved even as she is an adult."
That's
So
all
that's
that
good.
is now, though.
That's what
So y'all,
I
but like,
literally was gonna say
can I
that
be
though.
honest?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need a little bit of that trap music. I'm just saying. Like sometimes I shouldn't, oh, this is public. But sometimes I need certain words. I need certain like I'm sorry, God forgive me if that's wrong, but like I don't
No,
know.
For
Like
you, but
I
are
do
you
no,
listening
because
to
I
it
do the
around the
same
babies
thing.
though? But for you, but are you listening to it around the babies?
well,
Exactly. Because when I discovered Megan Thee Stallion, I was just like, okay, this has a place. And when he's not home, sometimes I'll have it blasting around here or whatever, some Cardi
okay,
or
so y'all,
something.
let's talk about this. So you all know how I'm sorry, Tramika, I'm not trying to take over, but I
No,
have a
you
question.
good.
So you all know,
Mhm.
like, you remember when Savage came out, right? That whole
Mhm.
like everybody was doing the Savage challenge and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What are y'all thoughts and feelings? Like my 4-year-old wasn't gonna do no Savage challenge. Like I don't know, like but like that's another thing. Like media has so much influence, and like all of
Mhm.
this TikTok and everything has music attached to it. You got reels, and these kids are like influencers in a sense with this music
Mhm.
stuff. And
Yeah.
what are y'all thoughts about that? Because I seen some people even on my timeline with kids doing
Mm-hmm.
Savage challenge, and I'm like,
And my
this is
thing
not
So
me.
is, I was just gonna say, my thing is with the Savage Challenge is they picked a good part of the song, kinda, that it wasn't too bad, but I'm not gonna have my little girl on there doing all of this on TikTok. Like, I'm not,
yeah.
no. So I mean, but I don't have a daughter, but I will say I do find it difficult trying to balance you're not doing this, but then still not wanting to sound like that mom that's just like, no, 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 no. Even though there are many successful adults, well, from our generation who had parents like that, they're like, I'm glad that my parent did it. But at the same
Mhm.
time, I don't want to push my child in the opposite direction at the same.
It's literally
And
different from
they
3
do it
years
anyway.
ago though. like from even though
Yeah.
they're in the same generation, like within the generation, like literally 3 years ago, because like I was telling somebody, the things that I'm experiencing or that the exposure level of my oldest who's 18 and then the 14 and 11-year-old within just those few years, they the same generation, but within just those few years it's totally different. The access is totally different. And so as far
Mm-hmm.
as a Savage Child, I don't even know what that is, but
You remember Tramika when Meg came out?
kinda, kinda. I remember the challenge, but I'm
I'm a
about
savage.
70-30.
Last
Yeah.
what's the
Classy,
yeah.
bougie,
Classy,
ratchet.
bougie, ratchet. Yeah. So I know the song. I don't remember the challenge, but I
Mm-hmm.
am a 70-30 mom. So I'm about 70% old school still, and then that 30% gets the flexibility. So yeah, not that I would be aware of. I wouldn't let my girls or even my son do it because it was men out there doing it too. Like, no. Because there's just a certain way that I feel like you carry yourself and what you put out there to the world, like it's super important. And then another thing we try to teach our kids too is once you put it out there, it's out there. I don't
That
care how
part.
you think you deleted it, it's still out there floating.
Yep.
So no,
See
I
now,
personally wouldn't let them.
now that's the thing. Check with me. In about 18 years, hopefully I'll have a 16-year-old daughter. We gonna put that out there.
Well, you'll have one in about 12 years because
Okay. But
mine is 4. You can have her. No.
but I'm saying if I had a 16-year-old daughter or older, 16, 17, 18, I probably wouldn't have I wouldn't have cared as much as she did the Savage Challenge, because to me it wasn't that bad. And you can do it. There was levels. There was a scale
Yeah,
of how raunchy it had to be. So I would hope that I would instill in her not to, because once you put it out there, it's always out there. Not to be out there, obviously, not in no booty shorts, not in no lace,
yeah,
nothing or whatever. But you could do it as just like a because I also am a dancer. So I get that
hmm,
aspect of it. And I expect, or I mean, not expect, but like any girl that comes out of me could possibly love dance as much as I do. So if she's
yeah.
on a hip hop team, it
I
wasn't
guess
because
it's
it
just
was
all how you putting it out there, like you said. Because I remember one
exactly.
time I was at my friend's house and we watched movies and then we was just hanging out and we was like watching different TikTok challenges. So I know what the challenges is. I just don't per se remember that one specifically. But we were watching different challenges and I mean, some of them we were doing them, but some of them we was just like, "Woo, like who's your mama, girl?" Like, and then
Mhm.
some of them they were like true artists, like dancers, where it didn't look provocative, but they were still doing the same challenge. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the influence, it makes it hard. The
Mhm.
influence to want to do certain things, as far as challenges, doing it in a certain way so that you can get attention or get followers. Listening to different music because you're constantly hearing it. Like for example, if you're on TikTok, I have a TikTok, but I'm not really on there. Actually, I don't think I ever watched a video on there unless somebody sent it to me. But when you're going through, you're going to constantly hear different music because there's music behind every single video. And so sometimes those things stick. And then you find yourself like, I think that's what happens to my son. He's like later on singing the song. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, what? Well, I can't. I'm gonna try to think of the one song he was saying. Oh, the Coochie Man. It was like it, it was from TikTok. And he kept saying, like it was almost like a superhero, like watch out now, here I come, I'm the Coochie Man. And like it was like 1 or 2 years ago, and you can laugh, it's okay. And he kept saying it, and me and my husband, when we was like, did he just say, like, we know he didn't. And then I was like, what does that even mean? Like, do you know? He showed me the TikTok, and when the guy in the TikTok, it didn't sound bad. He didn't cuss. He didn't say anything negative, but we know what the word means. And so it was like, you literally have to stop saying that because you don't know what you're
Mhm.
saying. And that's how easily they just pick this stuff up out there. It's crazy.
Well, my thing that gets me is I'll hear my son sing. It'll be an old school song. It'll be like something from the early 2000s, and it'll be raunchy, but it'll be something where the some new influencer took it and turned it around. But I'm hearing my old song that I used to listen to in 2003, and I'm like,
Hmm.
"What did you?" He was like, "What, Mom? There's no cussing it, you know." And I'm like, "Tell me what you was about to say," and then it'll be changed around. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I can't even tell him like, no, that song is actually from back in the day and it's about knocking boots or whatever.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
yeah.
So I want to take a quick break, a quick 2 minute break, and then I want to come back, and then I have a particular song that I want to ask y'all about, and do y'all know it? Because my son was saying it, he was telling me what it meant, and then another adult was like, "Oh yeah, your son shouldn't be saying that." So I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but we're gonna come back right after this, and then we're going to talk about that particular song. We're going to continue the conversation. Ready to host Momscape 2022. I know my team has to be excited as well. Look, y'all, we have been in a hotel room hosting our events for the last 2 years, resetting the room multiple times during the weekend to accommodate our moms. We're not going to have to do any of that in this new, beautiful conference center. Super excited. The space is super dope. It's going to take place in Atlanta, Georgia, in this beautiful conference center. There has been a multi-million-dollar renovation just completed. There's a restaurant on site. There's an indoor pool. There's an outdoor pool. There's a fitness center. The conference center is over 30,000 square feet. Now, we are not going to take up all of that space. Just not quite yet. Soon, but not yet. But we will need a lot of that space to be able to serve our moms in this ultimate escape. This is where our luxury accommodations for our moms from all over the world is going to take place as well. Look, Momscape was designed to provide a place for moms all over the world to run away to so that they can learn, they can level up with our life-changing workshops. They can find a peace of mind. They can meet new moms and have fun. Momscape is all about the fun. We're going to have a pool party. We got opening sessions. We got dynamic workshops. We have some dynamic speakers lined up. We have a vendor fair. Listen, at our vendor fair, you're not just going to be able to buy and purchase products. We're going to have resource vendors there too that is going to help you level up in your life as well as help your kids level up as well. We have a 3-part formal that's going to include a red carpet, a formal dinner, a 90s after party. Y'all not going to be able to get me off the dance floor. We also have some special guests lined up to be with us as well. Can't forget about our Mom Talk Live as we close it out on Sunday. I am so excited. You do not want to miss this amazing 3-day event. VIP and regular admission tickets do go on sale February 6th, but be the first to know by going online right now, clicking the link, and signing the interest list. Do that today. Grab your mama friends, and I will see you in Momscape 2022. All roads lead to June 10th and through the 12th, 2022, Momscape 2022. You have to be there. Okay, ladies. So before we jump into the topic, I am truly excited to talk about Momscape 22 just for a moment. And so I won't go into depth because we're a little ways away. But Momscape is a 3-day escape. It's for moms. It is designed to help moms level up in their life so that they can press that reset button, and go home a happier and healthier mom. We have so much fun. We had a lot of fun last year. So I'm super excited about it. It's June 10th through the 12th, 2022. And so get your tickets, make sure you lock in at our early bird rates. And we're going to have an informational call on Saturday. So if you're interested in learning more about the event, learning more about our speakers, make sure you meet me, inbox me, shoot me a text, whatever that looks like, so that I can shoot you the link so that you can join that informational call. After the call on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, I will be providing a special promo to anybody who joins the call. So I'm excited. And then Mary and Ebony, y'all are our members. You're going to be there as well. And Ebony is actually one of the speakers. So super, super excited about that. We'll talk more about Momscape soon. So let's jump back in to this topic. So do y'all know what song I'm talking about? Can y'all guess?
All of them.
I don't. I was trying to think of it the whole time. I probably don't even know it. What is it?
So I never heard it, so I can't sing it to y'all in the rhythm because I don't know. But the Push and P song. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all never heard that song?
Pushing P?
Yes.
Well, heck
No.
no. If that's what they are, they
Okay,
saying the actual P word. I'm assuming they are.
so no, I looked. So my son, he was talking about whatever, and I was like, okay, like what does that even mean? Because I had a few things in my mind of what the P
Who
stood for. You
sings it,
googling it?
Tramika?
I don't know,
I'm
y'all. Let's
googling it.
Google. Yes, Google it. So,
Oh, gonna.
okay, so he was like, it means like pushing positivity. So I'm thinking like maybe in real life it probably don't mean that, but maybe like the kids at school or maybe the teachers, because they
What's
try to
the
like come into
lyrics?
their
Yeah,
world.
now I want to know the lyrics.
Marion,
Pushing
tell us
P,
some of the
yeah, pushing
lyrics.
P, turn me up, turn me up. P, pointers in the pointers in the patek in my piece. I'm pushing P. I sound like an old woman, I know. Hold on. Pointers in my patek in my piece. I'm pushing P. Cop new hammers, guns for my P. We don't we don't want no peace. Got a spot across the spot just for peace. Drop the dot and then we plot an exotic piece.
That's the hook. That's the chorus part.
I think that's the first top. I think it's just a 3 line chorus, and then that last part was probably the beginning of the first verse.
Gotcha. So I googled it when he told me because I'm like, nah, I gotta see, and it did say like it was about pushing positivity. So I don't know. Whitney's still
On the
watching.
block,
I
pushing
I
positivity on the block.
guess. I
That's what I'm
guess.
saying. It's talking about
Like,
being on the block. It's talking about shooting people. We don't want no peace.
But to me,
Like,
when
okay,
I hear that piece, I think about a different type of peace, like a
of
peacemaker, as
gun.
Medea call it.
Yeah. So
well,
let me ask
it
you
say
this.
PEACE. That's why. Not yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
okay.
know, but you know what a piece is. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let me ask you this, Ebony, as an educator, and then Marion, you can answer as a mom, so that we get two different perspectives. So, how do y'all feel about when teachers take songs that you may not be comfortable of your kids listening to, and they flip them, and then they use them in the classroom? For example, it was all over social media, but this one lady had, she used Nicki Minaj. I forgot the song, and she had like a poster outside of her did you see that? She had a poster outside of her
I think
classroom,
so.
and I forgot what song it was, and it had a picture of Nicki Minaj and the little blur, whatever
Yeah.
the little sound she be making, and it had like all this stuff from like that the kids made or a message to them or whatever. Like, how do y'all feel as a parent and an educator? Like, how do y'all feel about, because we're trying to keep them from their peers doing it, and then we're trying to keep them from their own devices, but then like I look up to the teacher. The teacher is a leader. The teacher, like, they're teaching me. So how do you feel about them flipping songs and pushing it out to our kids?
So my thought as an educator, my brain automatically goes to engagement. So you have to meet students where they are. So if you know that they're engaged in music and this is the type of music that they're engaged in, I personally don't see a problem. We do ABC raps. Like, you know what I mean? Like, granted,
Mm-hmm.
I understand that the lyrics that may come out of some artists' mouths may not be appropriate, but if the teacher is spinning that to be positive, I personally don't have a problem with it. I've seen students be engaged and be able to learn from it. I think you have to be careful with what songs you're choosing though to flip though. I think you do have to be careful with because there is an original version of that song. So I think you should be careful with which songs you're choosing to flip. But I think it can be done tastefully as an educator with children. I do.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Mary?
Wait. First, because I made a face and it wasn't at Ebony. It was because I read that on the Breakfast Club, Gunna said that it means player and it's primarily supposed to be used in a positive way. The P and pushing P. But anyways, I think everybody always try to when in interviews they always try to say their stuff is positive. It ain't. But yeah, as a mom in that situation, I agree with Ebony. It depends on what it is and how it's used. Because it's more so how it's used, because I think about I don't know if any teacher has actually used this, or if I think it's just funny on TikTok. The ABCs to my neck, my back. I wouldn't mind my kindergarten
I have
singing. You haven't
never heard
seen
that.
Ebony, really? So it's
No.
A, B, C, D, E, F, D, but it goes to my neck, my back background. If my 5-year-old don't know who Kaya is and don't know the words to my neck and my back, I'm okay with them singing the ABCs to that melody. That's okay. But I don't know, it would depend on which Nicki
Okay,
Minaj
what if it's
song
a
it
song?
is.
What if it's a Pop Smoke song that you don't like, that JR sing and the teacher
Yeah,
sings
if
it to
it's
make it something
what's that
positive?
love? Because JR like it's a love song, mom. I'm like, no, that pops. Oh, I
Or
forget what it's
I
called.
have another example. What if it's the
No,
Savage song that we was talking about, right? And so I'm telling my kid at home, don't I don't like the song. I don't want you singing it. But then the teacher comes up with an acronym for Savage that's positive, and the kids in there like, I'm a savage. S stands for blah 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 blah, and
I
keep
could probably
like.
deal with that. So,
But
but then
after
okay,
you
so
told
the
them
Pop Smoke
not to
song,
sing it at home though.
Yeah, because you ain't singing the same lyrics.
exactly. But at the same time, like this Pop Smoke song, my son thought was a love song, and I think it's more so because he thought it was an actual love song, and talking about let me do it to you raw and all this other stuff, and I'm like, baby,
Mm.
that's not love.
What song is this?
It's called "What You Know About Love" by Pop
Oh,
Smoke. And like I don't
I don't
like
even
him
know who
listening to it
he is.
because it's mostly about having raw sex. And it's like it's not because that's
I
another
know
thing.
that
Like
song.
with our music back in the day, it's not that they didn't touch on these topics, but they touched on the topics. It wasn't a
I
whole
would use that as
song.
a listen. I would use that as a learning experience. So, son, since you listening to it, let me tell you what's the outcome of this
Oh, we
music.
definitely had that. But I wouldn't want a teacher using that song to my 12-year
So you
old.
wouldn't want her being like, "What you know about breeding?"
No,
I got what
exactly.
you.
Not to my 12-year-old who I just told him I don't want to hear that song in my house, you know?
Right,
So
right.
it's also age difference, you know, because like 4, 5, 6-year-olds who are not gonna conflate the two, they just singing their ABCs, like that's different. Savage, I could let go. There's some
I
Nicki
just use
Minaj songs,
that
there's
as an
some Cardi
So,
songs.
example,
so
but
are you saying,
yeah.
Mary, that it depends on like the original lyrics of the song? Then, like,
Probably, yeah. How bad it actually is, yeah. Because I
So
mean,
what if
I
they
like it
learn
like that
it
by
to the
Cardi B.
background? So what if they learn it to the background, right? This Pop Smoke song, they learn it to the background, right? Or whatever song, they learn it to the background, song that you don't approve of when they 5, 6, but then they hear it like on the radio or they hear somebody playing it, but it's and they ready to sing ABCs in the actual the actual lyrics play, like then what? Like they 9 now, like then what?
I mean, that's just that can happen anyway because like that's just
Well, they do that with gospel songs now, huh? Right?
yeah, that comes with everything because no matter what I try to keep away from him, he's gonna have access to it. And that's why I made the decisions that I have made over the
Mm-hmm.
course of him with music because I wasn't supposed to listen to anything but gospel, no matter how old I was. But my first CD that I bought for myself was Country Grammar, and one of my friends burnt me a copy of Big Timers. So like I had it, and so I
Yeah.
don't want him. What I don't want him to do is feel like he has to sneak from me, but I still
Mm-hmm.
want to have boundaries.
right,
That's what I'm trying to like balance.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest
Find the
thing for
rhythm in.
me, walking away from this particular conversation on this topic is the conversations. Like they have to be had because no matter how much we try to keep certain things from them or say the teacher can't do whatever, like at some point they're not exposed to everything, but they're exposed to many things. And we just have to have those conversations. And that leads me into Latoya's comment. She says, explain the lyrics to the kids. I used to tell my daughter to look up the lyrics and we will read through them and break it down. Woo, that's deep. But I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get
Y'all,
it.
And
how
we
do
do
we
that.
partner? Like, do you all think music artists think about like when they think about their audiences? Do you
No.
all think like
No.
Mm-mm.
like who do you
I
think?
think
Okay, who do you think in secular music is targeting adolescents or preteens?
all of
That has
them.
that has appropriate music?
None of them. Because
Not
the
Not
thing
none
even
that
one
I
about
of
it
them.
know.
is, the thing about it is everybody want to say, and I do agree because I am a parent and I am responsible for my child. Everybody want to say Lil Nas X, Cardi B, that's not their job to raise your kid, all this other stuff. It's not. But the access is different. But also JR just started watching the Rhythm and Flow show, and Cardi said on there, these kids is the one that's streaming and buying up the streams. Mm-hmm. So you got to be popping to them. So it's just like, all right, Cardi, what is when you released WAP, you said WAP was for adults, but then now you saying kids buy streams. So
WAP was a lot for me.
And the thing about it, you look at these videos, and
WAP is for married people, baby.
That's WAP was beyond me. Like my friend sent me the link, and I don't really get like that raunchy when it comes. Like I do like, and so I love taking car rides by myself. And so when my kids asking to go with me, I'm like, no, because that's my time to listen to my ratchet music. I don't really play it in the house like that. My friend sent me that YouTube link. Like, just send me the audio, girl. You had to send me the whole video. I said, what in the is this? Like, what is this? So that was a little extreme for me. And I've been married for almost 16 years. So Latoya says they are targeted to get the check.
But like the fact that we can't sit here and identify an appropriate artist right now, like an appropriate secular artist for
that's what bothers me too.
That's a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. They don't even have, like, we had the Talibs, we had Common. Like there was balance where with our music. Everything wasn't NWA and Death Row or whatever. Like there was different. We had like I said, we had Talib and Common, but we also had Hot Boys. Like it just, there was layers to this. And so we didn't have to just listen to. And like I said, even though Hot Boys and Big Timers and all of them, they were gangbangers and all that stuff, the whole song was not about putting somebody in the dirt. Yeah. The whole song was not about, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was like, because he was like, your people talk, because he'll listen to like Ludacris and stuff in that too, which I appreciate. But he's like, y'all talked about it too. And I'm like, but it wasn't the whole song. And we had fun songs on top of it. Y'all songs are so dark. It's so dark. They don't have nothing that's just like, hey, there's none of that. It's so heavy. Yeah. And that's why I'm so like about it. Because it's like, he don't have no mix. I have to mix it for him. I have to be his mixer.
I love that. So I do feel like we had a lot of alternatives growing up. Not that I always chose alternatives, because I remember like cassette tapes in my Walkman. I was listening to E, Jay-Z, all of that, right? Hardcore stuff, DMX. But we did have alternatives because, like, even Latoya mentioned, we had like Crisscross Brandy. And I feel like now it's either like straight love or like
Ain't
love
no
and
B2K.
sex.
Ain't no B2K.
Or it's way on the other end where it's like cussing and calling B's and none of that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's pretty extreme. So if the audience, anybody watching, if y'all know somebody that we're forgetting, please let us know, because I can't think of anybody. Now, I will say I'm not into music like that. Like, I'm starting to listen to it a little bit more, but I wasn't that person. Like, my husband is a music head, and so he knows a lot more artists and things of that nature. But even the I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, like these Christian songs, like they be way left sometimes too now. Like, yeah, you're not necessarily talking about the gospel and stuff. So, or the beat will make you want to twerk versus praise God. So, and it's like you in the car and you like and you like, oh,
what's
Lord,
going up? My hands on my
right. So it's changed. Music has evolved a whole lot. So again, my takeaway, or what I'll put out there is the conversations. What do you all have to like give some moms to walk away from this conversation?
Well, I do. Wait, before I do that, is one artist that comes to mind is Toby Nwigwe. But I tried to get that to my kids, and he's okay with it. My son, I played it around one of his friends, and his friend said it was whack. So I'm like, is it whack because you never heard it before, and your friends, y'all don't hear it at school? Because I feel like they need that social validation, reinforcement. For school.
Yeah,
because Toby can rap, and he do talk about God, but it's not inundated. Like it's across the board. Like he'll talk about anything. He'll talk about, make sure my wife know how to work a gun. So it's not, because I'm pro Second Amendment, but but
Yeah.
within reason. We're not just out here killing our people. So, but yeah, I think everything within moderation is my thing. I look at it as when he was 2 years old, I found out that grape juice and apple juice is not really good for little kids because of the levels of arsenic that's used in the for the fruit to make the juice. But I wasn't willing to be that stringent to be like, my baby can never, ever, ever have apple juice or grape juice, and I'll kill you if you give it to him. But I didn't
Mhm.
have it in my house.
Yeah.
So now I started off with that music is not in my house. But now because I have to have the conversation with him, it's there. And it's just like you realize this is what this I want him to realize what they're saying. I don't want him just to be blissfully unaware. Because then
Mhm.
hopefully after he realizes how much is going into his mind, that he'll turn away from it and be like, okay, yeah, this is this a little bit much.
Yeah.
So
Explaining to them the lyrics, I do think that's super important. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I was just going to say the same thing. I think it's being aware, um, being aware of what your children are listening to, but also like having a balance with it and like discussing it with them, like talking, having those open conversations about the music, but also setting your boundaries with it as well, because music does get in kids' spirits. It absolutely does, and impacts. It get in adult spirits too. Like you listen to the wrong song, you be feeling
Yeah.
away. So
Yeah.
so or you be ready to fight, nuck if you buck. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
so
Yes.
so I think, being mindful, being aware, boundaries, and continuing to have those open conversations with our children.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And one last thing I'll add for the mom who out there who may be watching, who's like, I don't even know where to start. Like they're a teenager, they just got them headphones in. Try to get into their world. And one of the things that we do is we play old school versus new school on our game nights. And so they'll get to play their music and we play our music and we compete. And like we'll have one person that's their age, either, whatever kid, we have three, and they'll be the judge. And so we kind of go back and forth like that, and we're able to explain songs, and me and Sorrel, we go crazy like, what y'all know about this? Like we go in, and it's fun, but at the same time you're kind of getting into their world, seeing what they're listening to, and like, okay, well, why? Or do you know what this really mean? And so I think that's a way to start. Make it fun. If you just snatch the AirPods, which you can, because you probably bought them, but if you just snatch the AirPods and like, okay, what you listening to, they may, resist a little bit. So find fun ways to kind of get into their world. Okay, ladies, I really, really enjoyed this conversation tonight. One last question before we go. My fun question of the week. So, if you can have dinner with anyone right now, like I'm making the reservations, you can go wherever you want to go, anywhere in the world too. Like it don't even matter. Like you can invite one other person. I only paying for two people. I don't got you can't bring no whole group. Can't bring all your kids. That's not gonna work either. One other person, who are you inviting to that dinner?
My
I'm
future
not.
husband.
I'm not saying.
Oh my goodness. What in the world? That ain't no answer. What?
They got a name, but I'm not saying.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So there's this guy. No,
Okay. Look, that's a whole nother episode. We about to go into overtime.
right
Okay.
now in
So
this moment, right now in this present moment,
mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Like I'm in a space where
my
like
little friend.
Yeah, okay. That's what the
I'm
moms
trying to
call it,
build
right?
something. If it ain't building nothing,
Okay, so your little friend and your future husband. So like how you gonna know who that is though? Like what you
no, you
so
gotta
you got
figure that
somebody.
out too, Tramika. You gotta get
Oh, I gotta
partner.
figure it out. Gotcha. So I got work magic and pay for the dinner.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. I
Pray in
got
the
you.
prophetic before you make them reservations.
Where you need to be, who need to be there, what y'all need to eat, who gotta serve y'all, what you need to wear. Gotcha. So I'm gonna say, y'all, in this present moment, I don't want to invite nobody. When I tell you I just need a few days to myself, like I don't want to look at nobody across the table for me right now. Just give me the whole steak, the salmon, all the good salad, the cheesecake. Like I want all of that, and I want to be somewhere across the country on a beach
That's
at the
not fair
table
because you
by
didn't give us that
myself.
option.
I said who you want to take. I want to take my spirit. That's
I would
okay.
say in that case,
So
Jesus.
if I had to choose an actual person, I'm just gonna go with Terrell for today because today is his birthday. So shout out to my boo. Today is his
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
and so I
Terrell.
would take him.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Uncle Terrell. He don't know he my uncle, but
Y'all are a mess. Okay, ladies. Well, I enjoyed it. For everybody that's watching, thank you so much for watching. Shout out to all the members who came on. If y'all don't know, Ebony and Marion are Mom Squad members as well. We have all the members, especially Latoya. She holds us down every week in the comments. Thank you so much. We will see y'all next week, same time. Facebook and YouTube Live, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Our topic next week, we're going to be talking about divorce and motherhood. So if you have went through a divorce, you're currently going through one, you definitely want to tune in. We're going to have a divorce attorney plus a mom who's going to be on, who's going to share her experience of how it was raising children while going through a divorce. I will see y'all next week. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Goodbye.
bye, ladies.
See ya.